Hello, I'm Jeanette Cole and I teach drawing and painting courses, and today I'll be showing you how to paint some autumn trees using watercolours. I'll be using a selection of brushes, a sponge and a palette knife. Okay, so to begin with I'll be drawing a pencil outline. So I'm just going to mark in a couple of tree trunks here. And rarely do you get trees that are perfectly upright, so I'm going to have a little bit of a diagonal, like a lean here, of the tree trunk. Okay, let's put our first one in there. I'm going to put in a smaller tree as well, to the left here, so in the distance more, and therefore it's going to look smaller. Okay, let's put a bit of foreground in here. Let's draw a bit of a hill over here as well. Okay, so to begin with, I'm going to wet the paper. So I'm using a flat brush here. So I'm just going to wet the paper and then we're going to use a sponge to put in some of the background colours. So just wetting the paper, not the tree trunks themselves, just either side of them. So just clear water at the moment, just to make the paper damp before we start sponging in the colours. Okay, so let's begin by using the sponge and adding in some of the yellow. Just testing out my colours here. Put in some of this yellow over here, so it's a nice bright colour, lemon yellow. Okay, put some in the bottom here as well. It's a nice bright colour, we're good as a background to begin with. So now we're going to use some yellow ochre, so another really beautiful yellow, just to give in some background colour here as well. It's nice because the water, as you can see, makes all the colours all kind of blend into each other, so you get really beautiful effects. It's great to watch all the colours run together. Okay, at this point we're using a large round brush now. I'm also going to add in a little bit of blue, because you do see the sky coming through. You know, when you're looking at autumn trees, you do see areas of sky. So it's just painting with a brush a little bit of blue. So just here or there, just little touches of blue just to give you know, that idea that the sky is there. Okay. Okay, so that's fine. So what we'll do now is we will start to move down the page, and I'm going to wet the area here, the foreground, and let's put some colour into this area. So just clear water again to begin with. I'm going to choose that lovely lemon colour as well, to give that lovely kind of bright feel to the painting. Let's put this in. I'm using a flat brush here. You can move very, very quickly, as you can see, across the page. So, let's bring in a little bit of yellow ochre now. Again, I'll use the flat brush and just paint that colour in, and just great to watch those colours all flowing and sort of all bleeding into each other. So yeah, it's just great to watch how the colours react to each other. So right now, let's just wet this area as well. Let's just put a little bit of colour in here as well. Let's go in with the yellow again, such a beautiful colour, but it kind of sets the scene really for what we're about to do over the top. Okay, so we're going to put this yellow in now. Let's add a little bit of green in here as well. Okay, so background colours then in position. So whilst these are drying, we can now start thinking about the tree trunks. Okay, so I'm going to go back up to the tree trunk, and I'm going to think about putting some different colours together, and this is where we get to use the palette knife. So this is the exciting bit, well I think it is, drawing into some paint actually with the palette knife. Okay. So what I'll do is I will put a little bit of water on the tree trunk itself. So let's start with this main one. I'm going to start with the nice light colour again. Yellow ochre coming in. Burnt sienna as well, which is a beautiful reddy brown, really lovely colour. Let's put that in as well. And let's go for a darker one. This is burnt umber now coming in. And now we're going to go for this purpley colour I've mixed up from ultramarine blue, crimson and a trace of cadmium yellow. So I'm going to put this down the edge here. Good thing about watercolours, you can drag colour out as much as you add it in, so it's just such a wonderful process to be able to do. just take that colour along there, just to dry that off a bit. Okay. Now, while this is still wet, I'm going to start to draw into this tree trunk, and this is where it's such fun to make some marks here. And then let's do another, while we're waiting for that to dry, let's move across and do the other trees. Put a bit of water in first of all. The lighter colours in to begin with. So get that, it's a yellow ochre base. Let's go in with the darker colour. And let's go for that purpley colour that I mixed earlier as well. Right, let's use the knife again, start to scrape in. Quite nice dragging the colour out with the brush. Okay, so now I think it's time to go back with the sponge. Squeeze some of this excess paint out here, and let's put a little bit of green in. So we can use the paintbrush to also add the leaves in, but for now we'll use the sponge to start breaking up that background. And also we'll add a little bit of this burnt sienna in now, just this reddy brown. Right, let's go for some green now. Right, let's move to a brush. So just using the brush now to add in some more leaves. So it's still adding in all the brush marks here. Adding in some more definition now with this darker colour. And the other thing we'll do is just to add in some details now with a rigger brush. So this is for some of the fine branches. And just add in a few more of these burnt sienna leaves now. So a bit of brushwork here going in. It's quite nice just doing some dabbing here with the brush. And last of all, we just need a few sort of leaves on the ground. So this last bit of colours being added in here. It's quite nice to have some vaguer washes as well as the more detailed ones. So just a few more leaves and then we'll be done. So just a bit darker up here. down a little bit more dark just down here, because it's these contrasts that we want to get into the painting. So there's a few more of these small branches as well. Let's just finish off now, just with a few extra leaves, and then we'll be there. Just making sure all the contrasts are in. So, just such beautiful colours. See, I love the way that paint's there, just bleeding through there. It's yeah. A little bit of the red, because of course with the autumn colours you get so many different beautiful colours, don't you? So okay. Okay, so I think I'll stop there. You could go on and on, adding in more leaves and so on, but this will get you started, and I really hope that you enjoy painting your autumn trees.